Why do we exist? Why do we exist has to do with the question of purpose. What is the purpose of our existence as a church? Number two is, how do we behave? And that talks about values, our core values, what defines what we believe. Number three is, what do we do? That is our mission. What makes us distinctive from anybody else? What do we do? Why do we do what we do? For who do we do what we do, and for what? What is our mission? What do we do? And then the next question is, how do we succeed? How do we succeed? We're talking about strategies that we adopt to make our church succeed and pursue of the purpose for which this church is set out to. Now the next question is, who must do what? Who must do what? In other words, in the leadership, we should have what is called the vision of labor, who is doing what, everybody doing the spotlight, the human body, so we don't have schism, we don't have challenges. What is the purpose of this church? Number two, how do we behave? Our value systems, our core values, that defines the things that make us do what we do. And then the third question is, what do we do? What do we do? Our mission. What do we do? Who do we do what we do for? And what is the purpose? What is the target group of what we are called out to reach? And what difference does it make? Then we have, how do we succeed? Talking about strategies. Is the health of the Church of Pentecost Vancouver on a scale of 1 to 10. Fine? Okay. Now, they said that everybody can have a dream. All of us can have dreams. We can imagine whatever, right? How do we achieve our dreams? They can come to Canada and think that, oh, I want to be the Prime Minister of Canada. It's a powerful dream. But the question is, how do we achieve the dream? Certain appropriate goals help us to achieve our dreams. Certain appropriate goals helps us to achieve what we're dreaming for. Where we are going and how we will get there. It calls for certain appropriate goals. And I want us to finish off, with this, and then maybe we'll break up into 2-3 groups and try to come up with what is called SMART goals. Anybody heard about SMART goals before? SMART, S-M-A-R-T, SMART goals. Now, the SMART, where there is an acronym, and the S represents specific. When you set in goals for the church, like any other organization, we need to be very specific. You can't say that, oh, I'm coming to save the whole of Vancouver. It's a goal, right? But how specific is it? So we should have specific goals. Goals that is within a boundary that you know you can attain, specific. Many times our goals are just all over the place. Okay. Number 2. So that S is for specific. The M is measurable. Measurable goals. In what way are we able to measure the goals that we set for ourselves? How can we measure? If we want to grow to become 1,000, how do we measure that goal over time? Do you understand? The goals that we set must be measurable so that when you look back, you can see that, okay, we set ourselves this goal from this year, we're going this far, and this is where we are. We have so much else to go to pursue. So M is measurable. And the A is achievable or actionable. Achievable. Like I said, if you came to Canada, you are an international student, and you said, I want to be the Prime Minister of Canada. Well, it's a goal. It's maybe very specific. Is it actionable? Is it achievable from where you are standing? Pardon? Okay. As against saying that I want to finish my first degree. I'll finish my master's. Right? You understand? So you can have all these grandiose things. Everybody can dream whatever. But yeah, maybe your target is to become a Prime Minister, but the immediate actionable or readily achievable thing that should confront you is to finish your degree. So you should have a way of achieving what you are setting yourself for. The R is relevant. Is what we are pursuing relevant for our purpose? Is it relevant? Okay, somebody says, well, I want to have a plane, a private jet. It's specific. Maybe if you have money enough, you can buy the jet. But is it really relevant? Do we need a jet? When, for instance, we're thinking of moving from here to another place, do we need to start thinking of a sports stadium as our target, as our goal? Is it achievable? Is it relevant? And the last thing is, the T is time bound. Many times we set goals and it's like forever. We think that, like you're saying, over time we can become the Prime Minister. But specifically, if we set yourself a goal and say, okay, within the next 10 years, I'm going to push myself to become the Prime Minister, it changes your priorities. You may have to give up on certain things so that you can concentrate on that. I want to finish my thesis by January. I don't say I want to finish my thesis in 3 years. Especially when there are timelines on it, okay? So these are what is called SMART goals. Now, every organization, I don't care whatever it is, could be a nation, a family, church, whatever, we should set ourselves SMART goals. SMART in the sense that it is very specific. You don't come to Vancouver and say, I want to save everybody in Vancouver. Everybody in Vancouver means what? You're looking at the Indians, you're looking at the Portuguese, you're looking at the Turkish, you're looking at Iraqis, you're looking at Nigerians. And is that what you want to do? Sometimes in our minds we think we can conquer the whole world. Yeah, it's okay, but you need to be very specific. Is it measurable, what we're thinking of doing? Is it achievable? Can we achieve what we set ourselves to? Sometimes at the end of the year, you have all these projections. 2019, the women's ministry want to do this and that and that and that and that and that and that, and about 20 of them. Are they achievable? So let's set ourselves achievable goals. And is what I'm doing very relevant? Now, for instance, if you're a women's leader or a men's leader or a youth leader and you are planning anything for the youth in the church or the men in the church, is what you are planning necessarily relevant to the men in the church? What are the things that interest the men in the church? If all of us are less, I seem to see a lot of us as Ghanaians who have never been used to winter games, you don't want to take the men for skiing, right? Or you might want to try. Try to take it over. So you have to plan something that is relevant to the people or the needs of the people. Don't plan things that are just way out there. And finally, it should be time bound. It should be time specific. Set yourself goals that are within. We have short-term goals and long-term goals. Set yourself within the next 1 year, this is what we want to do. Within the next 5 years or 10 years, project yourself. But set some timelines. Okay? So these are what is called SMART goals. And what I want us to do is to break up. In the light of these questions and the SMART goals, set ourselves just three SMART goals for 2019. Okay, I want the deaconesses to meet one side, elders meet on one side, and everybody else together. Okay? Deaconesses, one group. Elders, one group. Maybe deacon will join the elders, and then everybody else together in another group. And listen, what we set ourselves are just three SMART goals. 2019, from the beginning of 1st January to 31st of December, we want to be able to achieve this as our goal. Well, you're representing the women's ministry, if you like. And the elders, you're representing the church. The rest of the team, you represent.
Do we need to go through in that order?
You don't have to. You don't have to go through the order that I gave, but just give me three.